link channel. Good evening, guys, gals, non-binary pals. I am your captain for this evening and your master of games, as I welcome you all to the SS Adventurer. Tonight I am joined by 5 fabulous players, as always, as we delve deeper into the evils of the world of Viliarius. And my companions and my players here are here to share their evil ideas throughout this world. Who would care to go ahead and do last session's recap?
So I didn't realise my mic was muted. So we sort of met our archdemons per se, the people we're going to be sort of communicating with and receiving our tasks, although that's unbeknown to the rest of the party. Each party does not know that we've also been sent by other demons or devils per se, and nor are we supposed to sort of publicise who we're working on behalf of or which demon we represent per se. We then ventured to the carnival and ventured through. The bearded wonder over there, he got himself into a nice little gambling session with an Irish leprechaun and come off quite well, so he's now the money man of the party. I'll be honest, I can't actually recall who came with me. I believe it was Des. That's why I can't see it on the Discord, because he's not here. Des and I were approached by a child and invited to a tea party, which ended pretty badly with us both injured. Me with no skin from the hips down, and her, I believe it was our right arm that got stuck. And we're now venturing on to the meeting point we were told to meet at, and we're now waiting to see what happens, I guess.
Very nicely put. I'm going to put you as a lizard folk just for the time being there, Brimble, because I don't have a kobold token to hand. And if you've sent me one, you probably have sent me one. I haven't yet uploaded it, so I apologise for that, Brimble.
It's all good.
Yeah, Oreo was the one that went with you. So as we closed off last session, day was rising and you were told to wait for the moonrise. As we enter today's session, you step outside of the big top, and as you look to the skies, you can see the bright orange hue of the sun hitting the horizon. As the moon starts to rise, the carnival of pernicious sin is enshrouded in a thick and dense fog. You look around as the entire carnival comes to a standstill, all but temporarily. When the fog lifts, you take a look around at the surroundings. The carnival has moved. The Saviga Wilds that enshrines the carnival is gone. And instead you hear the waters of the ocean shores. Welcome, everybody. The ringmaster steps forward. Now, as I understand it, there needs to be a few tests. And your... what's the word? Your patrons, your sponsors, they have asked me to decide the game for tonight. So I thought we'd have a little bit of fun. Do you like fun?
As long as it's not at my expense.
Not at your expense, you say? My dear. What are you insinuating?
I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Somewhere on the outskirts, there lies an object. Something precious to you. Now I know what you're all saying, you don't have any precious gifts. But wouldn't it be a shame if you didn't have a way to communicate? With your patrons, of course. And he cracks his wrist at the same time as he snaps his fingers. And it rings out through the carnival. As each of you look on your person, the gift, the item you were given when you entered, or just before you entered the carnival from your patron, disappears. So, for example, for Brimble, your mask goes.
Oh.
For Valith, you lose the doll. And you each lose that object that has bound you to your patron.
Bremble's gonna tap their face and be like, ah, and then just hide like this a little bit.
Worry not, little one. There's no hunters around here. You will be reasonably safe. He points towards the edge of the carnival, the northern edge, and you see the Amagri coastline. A vast and very cold ocean. Now it would be awfully mean to send you down into those cold and dark waters. So we're not going to do that. Instead, what we are going to do is you must find a way in there. Without drowning, without freezing. And you must be able to survive it. Are there any questions?
I'm going to shake my head.
Good.
I'm going to ask you to repeat the task again because my mind drifted somewhere else about myself.
One last time. The waters are cold and dangerous. To enter them blindly would be foolish and would likely kill you. So you must find a way in there safely.
Can we get some hints on how to do that?
You must be creative.
So you're telling us to get in the water without getting in the water?
Now you're understanding.
Anyone fancy a fish?
Bremble's gonna let out a small giggle and just shake their head.
Man of riddles.
Of course, you can
Yeah.
use any facilities within the carnival that you so wish in the meantime.
Can we get help, or do we have to do this individually?
You may choose to do it however you like. But remember, you are in competition. So whoever achieves this the best will be offered a reward. And those who are slowest, the sluggishest, or should peril, well, they will not be so well rewarded.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Very quick note, we are getting feedback from someone. I don't know where it's coming from, though.
I think it might be you, Meg.
Is it me?
Every time he speaks, your little box lights up.
Oh,
Now then, feel free to go and explore. And please, don't die. This is far too much fun.
Well, I mean, I was joking about fishing, but I might actually try that because I don't know what else to think.
Liamson heads in that direction to scout out and try and figure out what, if anything, he's going to do.
Bomber goes to see if he can find some string and a stick.
We're able to still use the carnival, did you say?
Yep.
Brimble's going to announce, but I think I'm going to look around the carnival to see if there's any supplies that I think may come in handy. Would anyone like to join me?
I'll tag along with you.
Yeah, I'll
I'll take
accompany
it
you.
with you too.
We can maybe discuss the riddle per se and see if anyone makes any sort of leeway of it.
So just to clarify, Bomber and it's not Malric, is it?
Liamson is going to go head down
That's
and
it.
have a look. Bomber's going to come with us, me, Malric, and Valif to see if
Okay. So
we can find any
Liamson,
supplies.
you head directly towards the coastline. Can you make me either a perception or investigation check, please?
You'll have to wait for Meg to get back.
I'll say you have to do 1 second.
No, Liamson.
Meg does his thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
And she has started just gone. Is there any
Sorry.
chance you'd come back to me in a
So
sec?
I can roll it. It's not a problem.
Oh, that'd be-
So what would you like to do? Perception or investigation?
Perception, please.
17. Not bad. So you look out to the darkened waters, that is reflecting the star and the moonlight on the horizon. And as you look over, you can see there are trickles in the top of the water, clearly indicating something living in these waters. As you look along the coastline, a few miles either side, you can see there are a few coves and caverns and caves. But you don't see any way directly into the water without going in the water.
Is there any chance I can search the coves for a boat of some kind?
Yeah, I mean so you mean just like along the shoreline, see if there's anything?
Yeah, just see if I can find
Sure.
anything that actually
Make me
gets
an
me across the water.
investigation check.
1 second.
Hang on, my computer's taking a while. I do apologise.
That's right. I'm just going to go dark for a second because I need to double check something.
It won't let me. Oh, wait. Yeah, it won't let me.
Oh, it's answering from this session. What are you trying to do?
Roll an investigation check for Liamson.
Oh, it's right. Why won't it let you? Hold on.
I don't know, every time I hover over investigation, it doesn't come up with the
Oh
hand.
no
it just...
no. You've got the So if you look next to it, there's a dice button now.
Oh. Oh, I rolled 2.
4. As you are searching along the coastline, and you sort of head down toward the coves, you suddenly start to see the sands shifting around. And you look down toward your feet as a large number of scorpions burst out of the sand, scuttling towards you.
I take up a fighting position and pull out my daggers.
As you pull out your daggers, you notice something reflect in one of them. It is the rose you were given by your patron. And as you look following the reflection, you see it just floating below the water's surface line nearby.
How near is nearby?
Maybe a foot into the water.
Can I tell how deep that foot of water is? Is it quite shallow, or am I gonna?
It's along the coastline. I mean, the coastline itself is quite shallow.
And how far? I'm assuming the scorpions are all around me.
The scorpions seem to have stalled. They
Ooh.
seem to have just been driving you away from that corner of the beach.
This is gonna be a bad idea, but I'm gonna go for the rose, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna try and, as quickly as I can, try and wade into the water to grab the rose and get out again.
As you step into the water, can you make me a perception check, please?
Yep.
I can swim.
I got little legs.
On a 10, as you go to reach for the rose, you see a pair of glowing eyes looking up at you, whiter than white. And you hear song, gentle music playing in your ear. Can I get a wisdom save, please? Oh dear. Where do we begin with this one? As the song reaches your ears, in your solitude, there isn't much option here. You see a figure rise above the water, who forms into Valeth, singing an enchanting song, edging you further into the water. It's okay, my dear. You can trust me. Your patron said we were meant. Take my hand. Can I get another wisdom save, please?
Oh no.
14, narrowly, you realise that this is a suggestion. And you manage to resist, if you so wish.
Yes, please.
Come. It's okay, as her hand reaches out towards yours. At this point, you are realising that what you are seeing is not in fact what is there.
How close am I to the rose? Is it looking as next to me?
Still looks like it's just a couple of inches away from the tips of your fingers.
Knowing that what I see in front of me isn't what I believe it to be, and having some knowledge that the further I go, the colder and probably in a lot more trouble I'm going to be, I'm going to try and just grab the rose with the last couple of inches and get the heck out of there.
Can you make me an athletics check, please?
Oh no.
As you grab hold of this rose, you feel yourself swept beneath the waves, dragged down to the depths of the ocean. By the time it's too late, you realise you have grabbed hold of the tail of one of the siren maids.
Oh.
He likes the fishy.
Oh, this is much worse than that.
Oh, good.
Under the
Bro,
sea.
Bro didn't listen to the fucking riddle.
So, coming back to the main group of the party, who actually listened to the hint that they may use the entirety of the carnival.
I wonder if there's any boats or canoes in this carnival. I'm going to say to the group.
I wonder if they've hook a duck. That'd be useful.
Brimble's gonna turn to everyone with a look of like deep thought and be like, so does anyone have an idea of what this riddle could mean? Because how are we meant to go into the water without going into the water?
Perhaps going over the top of it. Boats could try freeze it in some way, but the fact that it's ocean water and not a still pond or lake is going to make it a bit difficult for upholding that, at least on a magical standpoint. But it sounds as if it's almost to retrieve something could, rather than under. If it's over, I'm thinking boat or something that floats.
We could
On a
always
side note, I can't swim.
We'd always find a net and use it and kind of travel through the water on a boat. See if we can pick the items up through that.
Well, let's have a little look around the carnival. See if we
Yes,
can
I'm
find
sure
anything useful in terms of water.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of things. Big place.
Can Brimble do an investigation check to see if they see anything around them that could be useful, as water is not their strong point, being a kobold.
So, make me. I'll let you decide between perception and investigation.
I'll go perception. With how my rolls are doing, I could do with all the pluses I can get.
Rolls seem fine to me, bud.
Just doesn't like Liamson.
So, as you are looking around the carnival, it's definitely a perplexing puzzle. Entering the water without going into the water. You suddenly see, after maybe an hour of wandering around the carnival, you notice a dunk tank. You know, like the old-fashioned dunk tank games. You throw a rock or a potato at a target into the water. And as you're watching this dunk tank game, you're convinced you see Liamson. There are children around the dunk tank, and they're throwing things at the target, and every time they hit, Liamson seems to drop into the water.
I'm gonna nudge whoever's next to me. I don't know how we all stood, but I'm gonna nudge. Let's go with Bomber. I'm gonna nudge Bomber because he's next to me, and I'm gonna look at him and go. Is that Liamson on the dunk tank? You know, the guy that doesn't speak, who we saw earlier.
And Bumble will look up, slightly confused, and go, wasn't he meant to be by the beach, looking for some way into the water? What's he doing playing games with children?
I'm gonna turn to Marek and Valif and say, you guys see the guy that doesn't speak over there in that tank too?
I'm gonna shirk it off and look at Valif and say he's your ward, and then sort of continue looking around for things that could be useful.
gonna answer back that he's nothing but a whisper in my ear. But I'll have a look at the tank. Do I see him in there?
Yeah. It's very obvious that every time the person who sat on it, who isn't Liamson clearly, falls into this water, it appears as if Liamson is in the water.
Maybe this isn't. Could this be an astral projection? Is this maybe he is by the beach and this is what we're seeing? Because he doesn't appear to be falling into it. He's just in the water.
Brimble's gonna shrug their shoulders and go, I'm gonna have a closer look, and I'm gonna walk over to the tank and
I'll
ask
come
how
with
much for a throw.
As you get a bit closer, you recognise the person running it. Or should I say people? It's Zorn and Thorn, the jesters. Oh, howdy doody, madam. Yes, doody howdy to you. And, you say you want to throw? Oh, go on, tell her what happens when she has a throw. Yeah, alright, I'll get into it. If you want to have a throw, make sure you hit. Because if you miss, that makes us look terribly bad. And we don't like to look bad. No, we don't like to look bad.
Funny you should say that with the way that you look.
She's talking about you. Hey, that's not very nice.
And if they
Truth
say,
is,
so Brimble's gonna turn and be like, pass us the ball then.
Here you go. Straight dexterity, please.
I'm going to walk over and watch as she takes the throw.
I'm also going to sit and watch.
Yeah.
Natural 20. Can you throw some damage, please? Let's make it... Let's see, let's go on to your... Oh, let's go on to your actions. I think you've got some thrown weapons, whatever that is. Where's your weapons?
I don't know.
Where's your inventory? The hell?
I don't know.
Your inventory. We're gonna have to fix your inventory, so you're gonna have to send. Do you know what weapon you're meant to have?
I wrote it down somewhere.
What are you playing? An artificer. There we go. Right, let's get that up. Starting equipment. Right, very quickly. 2 simple weapons of your choice. What simple weapon would you like?
Dagger.
Yeah. I don't get why...
It removed all my stuff.
I didn't remove your stuff. Right.
No, I said it removed it.
Oh, right,
Someone
yeah.
did.
Light crossbow, 20 bolts. Studded leather armor or scale mail?
Studded, please.
Infused.
Does everyone want to check to see if theirs are all there, just in case? On the action.
Mine is.
It's Brimble.
Cast
Bumble
off
dropped on the
studded
way in.
armor. And spelled. Infused.
I have a firebolt and I have a lucky feet.
Mm.
Leather armor +1, studded leather armor resistance, smouldering studded leather armor. Do you know what? We're going to make it a smouldering studded leather armor just because the only thing that the smouldering does is smolder. So it's just normal leather armor. Not magical in any way, it's just normal. So yeah. So you throw this. Can you make me, if you hold the shift key, and then roll me some dagger damage, because that seems appropriate.
Do I need to close the window?
It says under actions,
Aha!
and then just hold the shift key and click the damage button. So as you throw this ball, it smacks into the target. The target swings all the way around and snaps. You see the person sat on it, and it just looks like your ordinary average Joe human. They fall into the tank, and you see Liamson.
I'm gonna run up to the glass and then turn around to the jesters and go, "What's this? How's he in here?"
Oh dear, he's not in there. No, that's not really him, you see. Well, it is him, but it's not him. So you're all connected. And in this place, if you're connected to someone and they're in trouble, you will see them.
Knew it.
I'm gonna say, "Where is he?"
Oh, we don't know.
Well, he's drowning from what we can see, and he said
Is
he
it
was going to
free?
investigate the water. I say he's fallen in at the beach. Should we head down there, or I'm going to look at the others?
Yeah,
I
I'm
was-
gonna. Sorry.
I was just gonna say yes, but I just want to ask these two quickly a question first before we go. Yeah,
Yeah?
because no rush. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look at the twins, and I'm gonna say, how would you get into the water without getting into the water?
Well, that's kind of a dumb statement. It's a pretty thick question, if you ask me.
Didn't ask your opinion, just your answer.
Oh, the answer's real simple. Let me answer it with a riddle for you.
I roll my eyes.
When you have a ring, take this, and he pulls out like a rubber ring. This rubber ring right here. In the center is a great big hole, and on the outside is itself. Now if, and he lifts the ring up to his face, I put my face in the hole, at what point am I in the ring? I don't think you meant to give him that much information. You could get us in trouble.
Give a little smirk of a smile, and I say thank you.
Oh, you're most
And then we-
welcome, dear.
Shall we go get Whisper then?
I'm going to nod in agreement.
Remble's gonna turn around and be like, "Fucking idiot," and just start heading that way.
Bomber's going to ask if he can borrow the rubber ring.
By all means. Just
Thank
be careful of it in the water.
After Bomber asks that, Brimble's going to turn around and say, "Can I have another ball?" I feel like throwing it at something else.
Just don't throw it at us. Remember, we're trying to help. And she kind of thrusts the ball into your hand.
I'm going to give them a nod and then turn around and mutter to myself, "This is why I fucking work alone."
So you're all heading down to the beach?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
As you all start to leave the carnival, Liamson, you feel a hand around the collar of your shirt and a very sharp tug upwards. You look around and you've just been pulled out of the dunk tank. You see a hulking great Goliath with a bright blue mohawk that seems to spark. Come on. You can't play with a fish all day. Hey. You got a job to do. You're muted, Liamson.
Apologies. I cough and splutter and with curiosity stare at whoever's just saved my life.
Oh, it's not your time yet. Your your sponsor is just sending the other contestants a little message. Meanwhile, you got lucky.
I gingerly nod in agreement, questioning my decision slightly.
The things that pulled you under are hers. The one who gave you this. And he holds the rose between his finger and his thumb.
I look at it longingly and then reach my hand out for it.
There you go. She paid a handsome fee to the ringmaster to set this up. Just don't go and spoil it. Play your part like a good little boy, and she might even see to your every desire. It's a shame the pretty one, though, is gonna have to suffer. And you know he's immediately talking about Thalith.
I shoot him a glare of pure aggravated aggression.
Oh, I wouldn't try it. And you feel a little jolt through his fingers.
I back off a bit, knowing that I'm probably quite far out of my depth.
As you guys get to the beach, the weather very quickly turns. As you see the curtains of rain fall down over the ocean and very, very quickly reach the shoreline. The night turns dark with all but the flashes of lightning.
I walk up to the water and I kind of lean over and I look directly into it to look at my, or whatever kind of reflection there is in the water.
There is no reflection in this water. There is not enough light. And with each flash of light, the only thing you can see is the ripples of the crashing waves that are building.
I look
I'm gonna-
around. No, go. No, go.
No, go.
Ladies first. I just look around to see if I can see Whisper.
Make me a perception check.
Skills. That was shocking.
Sugar. On a 6, as the lightning crashes over the sea, you can see what you believe to be Liamson standing on the water.
I call out to him to see if it's really him and to see if it's do a movement.
They turn around, and in nothing but a fainted whisper, you hear, "You killed me."
Who are you?
It's me, Liamson.
We both know that you're not Liamson.
Make me a wisdom save, please. Or an intelligence save, actually.
What one's that under?
It's on your main page on the right-hand side.
Intelligence.
Yeah. So yeah, you're quite right. As you hear the way this person is speaking, it is not the way that Liamson would speak. But they have stolen his appearance and his voice.
I shall ask again, who are you?
Oh, very well. As they form into this androgynous female form. I am not someone you wish to challenge, but I am someone who possesses these, and you see your items laid out before you. Brumbo, you see a cask filled with ale. Next to a glass filled with wine. Valeth, you see the doll. Brimble, you see your mask.
I'm gonna look out as I see my bone floating amongst the other items.
Mm-hmm.
And I sigh and see the silk clothes that I was given. I don't really want back anyway.
And what is it you wish in return of these items? I'm going to say while stepping next to Valeth.
I told the ringmaster exactly how you will obtain these. You must find a way of entering the water without entering the water.
I'm going to ponder for a moment. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, is anyone up for using the rubber ring and having a go with that?
Feel free to, and while you're out there, please do grab the doll for me.
Us dwarves are not good swimmers, so that would not be a good idea. No matter how well we float, we still sink.
I have one idea, but it depends on whether this will work. It's a theory for now, and as I say that, I'm going to open up my book and I'm going to cast a spell towards the ocean water. And I'm going to try cast Ray of Frost to see if it will freeze it in any way.
So you cast Ray of Frost directly over the water, and there is like a sheet of ice that forms across the top that starts to float as the waves crash over the top of it.
I'm going to sigh as it doesn't pan out. And sort of thud my book with a frustrated sort of close. And go back to pondering for a second.
As you are, Malric, as you are the one that seeks intelligence, why don't you make me why don't you make me a direct intelligence check?
Certainly.
12. Reasonable. So the clue that the clowns gave you is actually also the answer.
I'm going to have a light bulb moment for a second. And I'm going to lean forwards and just put a single pinky into the shallowest part of the water, and just look to see the response.
The water remains undisturbed. What the clowns were getting at is that at no point, if you put the rubber ring around you, as an example, at no point are you inside the rubber ring. Because the rubber ring, its actual physical being, is around the outside of you, and you are inside the centre of it. You are never absorbed by the rubber ring. So therefore at no point is it part of you, or are you part of it. But you are still inside of it. Holly's sat there like, what the hell?
I would say my character's confused, but I'm confused as well, so I've...
Okay. I'm going to turn to Bumba and ask for the ring. Please.
Be my guest. As I hand
How
you the
big
ring.
is this ring, by the way?
It's a standard rubber ring.
Anyway.
It's about like the center of it is about a 5 foot gap. Like
Oh, almost like a floaty thing that you throw in.
yeah.
Just without the rope, yeah.
I'm gonna
Like a kid's one.
step into it and pray. And then basically just walk towards the water.
As you step into the water, can you make me a strength saving throw?
Okay. Pray for me, pray for me, pray for me. No.
So you step into the water and this rubber ring suddenly starts to constrict around your body.
That's why I didn't do it.
It is a cursed magic item that binds itself to all of your attunement slots. And any time you seek to so you are obviously stepping into the water. It is constricting on you, which at the moment is halving your movement speed. And you notice that this rubber ring is gradually growing around and constricting your body further, really, really slowly. The androgynous figure steps before you. His true obsession. Whoever thought that you would be the first to succumb? I doubt any of your... She looks around. Peers would be brave enough to try and save you from the storm that you have created for yourself. You wish to come and clasp at the doll? Be my guest. But I warn you, be quick.
Can I ask, is the rubber ring still made of rubber?
Yes.
I have an
Can I throw-
idea.
I was like, can I throw my axe at it?
I'm wearing it.
Oh, it just burst, wasn't it?
You bet if you hit her.
Yeah.
He will also burst.
It will burst.
Yeah.
Hey, better than constriction, isn't it?
I have an idea.
Quick death is a mercy death.
You have to go in the water. You have to get in the water without getting in the water. What if the objects are the same? I'm saying this to the party, by the way. Then turn to everyone and say, what if the objects are the same as what we've just seen in the dunk tank? We saw Liamson in the dunk tank, but he was not there. What if the objects are not in the water, but they are somewhere around the area, but showing as in the water?
I mean, that makes sense.
I'm just going to look at you and be like, sorry, I'm a little bit tied up here.
And I suggest you
We'll do
sure
it
you
this
don't,
first.
Yeah,
you
we'll
sure you don't want to
So-
throw an axe at you.
Liamson, what are you doing right at this moment in time? So obviously the Goliath has pre-warned you not to interfere with what's going on.
Yeah. Where am I in relation to everyone else? Am I back in the carnival, or am I
You are-
like in a?
You were in the carnival because they pulled you out the dunk
Yeah.
tank.
I've never been very good at listening to people, obviously. Is there any chance I can go towards the coast but not be seen by anybody? It's almost a
You
sort
can-
of watch what's going on without.
You can head there.
Yeah.
Make me a stealth check.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
You are, for all intents and purposes, invisible to anyone who isn't actively looking for you.
Yeah, I head down to the coast and watch from a distance, as that's all I can really do.
So by the time
Alright.
you get to the coast, you stand on the far edge of the beach watching, and you can see Valith, who by this point is already struggling with this rubber ring around her. And you can see it constricting her body slowly.
Does anybody have a bit of rope?
Nothing on me.
I think Holly's saying she does.
Yes, I do.
If I check my inventory, I'm sure I do.
I do.
Yeah.
Maybe. Bomber throws the rope to Valeth, and then me and Malric get on the rope with Bomber to try and pull her.
She's
Ouch.
not in the water.
She got as far as putting the ring on her and it just went. So we were just basically stood there watching her in pain. I'm going to walk over to Valith and sort of inquisitively look around the object that's currently constricting because I'm being meticulous about not touching it.
I'm going to poke it.
So, Valith, you're going to take 1 point of force damage.
Oh, sorry, I've got to get rid of my dog. Give me 2 seconds.
Don't get rid of the doggo.
Oh no, Rosie is a bouncy nightmare.
We like bouncy nightmares.
No, she wouldn't let me do anything. At the moment I tried to pick my hand off her, she was like pulling my arm back. So 1 point of force damage.
Yeah.
Was that because I touched the ring?
As you touch the ring, it suddenly inflates more. Valith, at this point, this ring is probably from the sort of halfway down your thighs to just underneath your rib cage. So it is slowly becoming much, much harder to breathe.
I'm going to say to her,
No one touches it.
I'm going to stand there, still sort of not touching it, but just meticulously looking around and just pull out my dagger and say, look, it looks as if this is just going to get progressively worse. Do you want me to try pierce the rubber? I'm just going to stand there with the dagger in my hand, sort of gormless.
I'm going to come up the other side of Malric and say, we can try from either side.
I pull out my hand axe and say, I can try as well.
At this point it will be touched. Would it be classified as 1 touch? Or would it classify as 3 touches and the thing consumes me?
Fuck around and find out.
It's still made of rubber, much better.
Fafo.
Choice is yours. I haven't got any other idea, and I'm still just sort of meticulously looking over it, but not touching it. Just sort of like,
Okay.
Can I do an investigation check on the rubber ring to see if there's any like
You can make an
little thing that you
investigation
can-
check.
Or
if there's
it's a
any, like, little-
nozzle to let the air out.
Yeah.
As you look around this rubber ring, it's becoming increasingly obvious that this is far more than just a rubber ring. This is a trap. And it in itself is designed to cause you problems. Once again, the androgynous figure
Twins.
speaks up. Why don't you come into the water? You want your items after all.
I'm gonna say, what else do I have to lose? I walk towards the water very slowly.
As you walk towards the water, Bailiff, bearing in mind this thing is very tight now. It's worse than the tightest corset you could imagine. You realise it's not behaving like a normal rubber ring. It doesn't float. And at this point, you are starting to be dragged by the water. Can you please make me an athletics check with disadvantage?
I don't know how to do that.
So underneath the chat box, there's a button that says DIS. If you click on that and then click your athletics check under skills, it will roll with disadvantage. On a 5, you are dragged by the current. And as you're dragged by the current, you'll take another 5 points of force damage. That's from the rubber ring, FYI. You get to about 10 feet out at water, and the dole is very, very close. And you... The rubber ring has eased.
Can I grab the doll?
You can try to make a grab for the doll. If you want to make me a normal athletics check.
No disadvantage?
No, the rubber ring has released itself.
$19.
You swim into the current, and with the current. And as you get to the doll, and you go to touch it, your hand passes through. You look down, and there, on the ocean floor, about 5 foot down, you see it in a small metal cage.
Can I get my rope out? Am I still restricted, or can I get my rope out?
You can get your
No.
rope out.
Can I try and get my rope out and tie a little something or other? Not
Noose.
like I dangle it through.
What, try and swim down and tie it to the cage, or...
Oh God, no! Just see if it just goes down. Yeah, no. I think
No,
that's-
it'll just...
So I can just.
You can tie something heavy to it to try and hook onto it.
As you're looking down at this doll, you see a pair of glowing white eyes. And you hear this irresistible song. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Doom.
The allure of this song is irresistible to you, and it is calling you down into the water as they reach out your hat for your hand. A webbed hand grabs hold of your wrist. The androgynous figure whispers in your ear, "Your love, or the one that loves you, was watching this entire time." Malric, is that a Misty Step you're casting?
I leant on my mouse, I'm so sorry.
Are you actually, or no? No, okay, that's
No,
fine.
no, I was scrolling through my spell list to refresh myself while you were doing your thing. I'm so sorry.
It's alright, I got very excited then.
I'm debating. I was like, wait, I have Misty Step. Maybe that's how I get my thing. But I'm waiting until the thing. I didn't mean to do it just yet.
You are dragged to the depths, Valeth. And as you are dragged to the depths, you are held under the water until you fall unconscious. The rest of you see Valeth as her body pops back up to the top of the water. This androgynous figure waves a hand and lifts the doll from the depths and places it on her chest as she gently pushes her back to the shoreline.
As she approaches the shoreline, I'm gonna sort of lean over, try not to go in the water just yet, and see if I can pull her onto the beach
Yeah,
and sort of check her over.
you can pull her onto the beach. She is not dead nor dying, she is just unconscious.
I'm gonna nod and then sort of look at the others left and just sort of sigh and go, it doesn't seem as if we're gonna have much option other than fairing it. And as I say, I'm gonna open my book again and I'm going to look to where I can see the bone. And I'm going to try cast Misty Step to its location.
Can you make me a fate roll, please?
How do I do a fate roll, sorry?
It's a D100, which is the dice at the
D100.
very, very end with the 2 zeros, and then just throw that in the chat box.
From Leoson's
work?
perspective,
No, nothing come up. You need to click and drag it, and then drop it over the chat box.
Oh, that's why.
74. As you misty step, you step through the nowhere. And you are there for such a brief second. But you get a glance of the creatures that exist. Not something you want to drag through with you, and you pass quickly through and safely. You manage to get to your bone, grab hold of it as you are in the water. You have actually gone behind the figure, and she turns her back on the party as she whispers to you. Very good. Very good. However, how are you going to get back?
I'm going to sarcastically say, well, treading water with good faith and a lot of effort, and then begin to try forward swim.
Can you make me an athletics check, please?
if you pull this off.
Oh, you're so lucky. That was nearly a natural 20.
Yeah, I know. I saw my heart sunk into my arsehole, man.
You feel hands trying to grab at you, but there are so many. They are just like on top of each other and in each other's way as you book it for the shoreline. And as you get back with your bone, the riddle becomes even clearer. When they said enter the water without entering the water, they meant to go through the water, but not become part of it. I.e., don't let yourself die and decompose at sea.
I'm going to sort of pant heavily and sort of try wring out my robes.
Can you make me a perception check, please?
Yes, I can.
Liamson, what are you doing at this moment in time? Just because you can see Valith unconscious on the shoreline.
Do I know she's unconscious, or is it from my perspective that she looks like she's actually just died?
Yes. That's down to your
Right.
character's assumption. You notice the rest of the party are kind of not rushing to heal her, and not rushing to like try and get her back in any way. So, although you're a bunch of misfits, you don't think that any of the party members, other than Valith, are quite as cold as to just let someone die.
I slowly try and wipe my eyes of any tears that may be in them, as I start to catch my bearings and realise that for people not to be dealing with her straight away, she isn't dead. I assume that would probably make my rose bloom again, and I would then try to think of how I get closer to make sure that's true without actually getting closer. I don't know. For now, I think I'm as close as I can get. So yeah, wipe the tears and pray she's not dead.
The rest of you would notice that although the objects are there, there's no sign of Liamson or his body at this point.
I'm going to, as I finish wringing my robes off, I'm going to sort of kneel down and say, is there any sort of way you guys could possibly get yourself into the water without having to swim that length the first time? And then sort of look around and go, also, I didn't see the tongueless one while I was out there, like, at all.
Well, I mean, both of you are technically all right. You're just a bit messed up. So it is possible to go out there, get the items, come back, but obviously at a risk.
As he says that, I'm going to look through my wizard grimoire and just look over my Misty Step and see if it's just for my own use or if I can cast it on someone else, for example.
Misty Step is just your own person. I think you can take people with you if you've got hold of them, but I need to double check that.
Oh yeah, well, I don't fancy another dunk, so I'm going to close my bookie regardless.
Well, I think me and Brimble, I think one of our best chances is to find a boat of some sort, because that is the only thing we haven't tried yet. Would you agree?
As Bomber does that, Brimble's gonna look around and do an investigation check.
Sure. And Bomber's looking for some kind of boat.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys do that. I'll
Yeah.
turn to this one.
Can
So
you
point at the thing on the floor.
Both make me an investigation then, please. Thirteen's reasonable. Brimble, as you're looking across the beach, you don't see anything like a boat or anything like that. However, you do stub your toe on something that is buried deep within the sand. And as you stub your toe, you look down, and again you see these mounds start to roll around it, almost in a protective fashion.
Can I start to dig where I stubbed my toe?
You can start to dig. Shortly after you start digging, a bunch of scorpions burst from the sand. Can you make me an intelligence saving throw?
Intelligent.
18. Very nice. You realise these scorpions are pure illusion. They are a pure protective illusion.
Okay.
And as you start digging, you see a rowboat made of platinum plating.
Ooh. I'm gonna shout to Bomber. Oi, I need your strength. Help me.
So Bomber obviously goes over and then tries to remove the item from the ground.
As you both heave and pull, this relatively large, almost canoe-like boat is pulled out of the sand.
I'm gonna look at Bomber and say, "Come on then," as I start to try and pull it towards the water.
We do appear to be missing some oars to paddle with though, and I'd rather not be using my hands to make my way through the water. Should we try to find something to row with?
Am I within ear distance of this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand up and go like that as my quarterstaff sort of appears, and say you can maybe use this to pull you along.
Oh, perfect. I can also use my my axe as another type of oar, so that should work. So I row, you guide.
I'll say the front, you say the back.
I'm gonna pass it to whoever wants to take the quarterstaff as I go back to looking over Valif unconscious on the ground.
I will take it from you, so you know who has it.
As you start rowing, you notice the figure on the water completely ignores you, as it seems like she cannot see you. And you manage to row out, grab your items, and row back completely unhindered as the figure fades from the top of the water and the weather eases up.
I laugh to myself and say the most simple of ideas seem to work the best for me.
I'm gonna get out the boat and go. Or was that so difficult?
You still
As I
have a
look towards.
member of the party unconscious, and Liamson, at this point, you notice the figure that you had met previously disappear. And it is a safe presumption that going down there now would not constitute as interference.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hang about. I'll get straight down there.
I'm going to take my quarterstaff back from Bombo, so get onto land.
I will graciously hand it to you, say thank you.
Rimble's gonna put the mask back on.
I'm gonna sigh and put my silk robes back in my bag.
I'm just gonna lay there.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna head over to Valith.
As you guys
just-
start to surround Valith, you see Liamson descending down onto the beach.
I am absolutely running as fast as I blooming can with my little legs.
As I see him, I'm gonna turn to him and go, "Took you bloody long enough. Where have you been?"
I barely even listen as I'm just on a mission, and then fall down onto my knees next to Valith, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do.
Why don't you make me a medicine check?
Okie dokie. My rolls have been great.
13. That's perfectly capable of bringing someone back and restabilizing them, especially as you realise that this is just cold and exhaustion and some very badly bruised ribs. As the rubber ring is laying next to Valeth's feet. As you start to resuscitate her, you hear in your ear a whisper. I thought you were told not to interfere. I am trying to ensure your victory here. She does not love you. She never will. She didn't even care that you were not out at sea.
I shake it off and carry on as best as I can.
And you come back on 1 HP, Valeth.
Coughing and spluttering.
First thing you see is whisper over your body.
I just open up my eyes, look up, immediately roll them, and just went, "Nice try, buddy," and then kind of just like sit up, and yeah, just say, "Well, that was interesting." And I keep hold of the doll and just look at it. You don't all look very pleased to see me.
Yes.
I'm going to turn over and just sort of give her a gentle shrug, like nothing personal, but and then wedge the bone that I retrieved onto the top of my staff as I sort of turn back around and look at the others.
I'm just gonna laugh and say I'm glad I didn't put the rubber ring on.
Brimble's
Hey.
gonna look at her and go, "You should have just used the boat."
What boat?
As she says that, I'm gonna point to the boat that we've just used.
I look at the boat and say silver or platinum isn't really my metal. And then just pat, whisper on the head and stand up.
So now that everyone's sort of back here, were we supposed to go back to where we were when we've got our items? I'm going to look to the others. Beats sitting on the beach in the middle of the night, doesn't it?
True.
Should we head back up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to nod as I sort of place my weight on my staff, walking up back to where we came from before we went to the beach.
As you head back into the carnival, there's a crowd of people watching, and they just all start clapping for you. The ringmaster approaches. Please, please, all step foot into the big top, and I shall reveal the prizes, the winners, and looks directly towards Vadeth, and the punishments.
I roll my eyes.
Roll your eyes all you might, my dear. This was a game. This was a show. And you lost.
I'm the one that gave more of a show for everyone to watch, though.
Is that how you see it?
Entertainment.
Oh, my dear. Your delusions of grandeur are only outshone by your sponsor. And as you all head into the big top, you notice crowds of people starting to leave, as purple lanterns floating high glow with an ominous hue. Which is where we're going to have a quick break. So do not go anywhere if you are watching on the streams. We will be back in about 5-10 minutes, folks. For my players, there is only more to come. We will be right back. Someone please remind me to pause Archibald.
Also, apologies for the
Oh,
sight that
I
everyone
just
saw.
realised I haven't
Oh,
had the webcams on this entire time because I'm a donut.
Is it
Oh.
our
Probably
webcams?
because
No.
Ali
It's all
flashed
the audio's been there, but the webcams for some reason have not been.
It's not. It's not. It's not bad.
That's really, really good that that's happened. I can't lie.
Don't tell Alex that. Make him believe that that's what happened.
Did
No,
you
he's
tell him?
already dying.
Or is
He doesn't
my camera
know.
not lined up?
He does know because you left your speakers playing and we were talking about it. He came up and gave me a stern face.
Yeah, he does
Uh,
know.
He doesn't know
Oh no,
about the
not
other
that bit. No, not that bit. I'm
Ryan,
not
you
saying about. Doesn't know he's on stream, so he doesn't know that how many people follow this stream have seen him in his boxers.
They haven't because the camera's not on, so it's all good.
Yeah, which we now know, but otherwise it was going to be, I don't know how many people watch these lives, but a lot of people seeing Mr. Alex Gannon in his boxers.
For context, the captain, whilst you were doing some intensive storytelling,
Yeah.
my partner came over to give me a kiss, but he's been working on cars, so he stripped down to his boxers so that he doesn't get it all over my furniture, and just walked behind me in just boxers.
I didn't even see it, so.
Quickest screenshot I've ever taken.
We all saw it and we all pissed ourselves.
Yeah, only you because you and Liamson were doing your
Doing our bit.
that you two didn't notice it, but the other three.
These
Oh,
streams
yeah.
are no longer PG. This is the R-rated stream.
Well, as I say, just as well the cameras went on. Right,
Yeah.
the cameras are now on.
Tell him.
Evening, Des. Evening. So, we are back officially. And you all enter into the Ringmaster's Big Top. Well. First game completed. And only 2 of you had the sense to use a boat. I would say your sponsors have chosen poorly, but they really can't be blamed for your incompetence. Where do we begin? Bomber and Brimble. Finding the boat. You are the only 2 who successfully, safely, and unscathedly managed to retrieve your items. Well done. After this,
Well done, Lord.
you may visit the prize hall and choose a present from yours truly.
Oh,
Kobolds first.
everyone's gonna raise their eye and go. Sounds good.
Liamson, you played your part well. Unfortunately, you did try to save one of your competition. So, whilst I cannot offer you a prize, I will offer you my admiration for being so noble. Your soul is safe for now. Malric, you endangered everyone and everything around you.
I simply arch an eyebrow inquisitively.
For someone of your skills not to know the dangers of teleportation, passing through the nowhere with the risk of summoning monsters that even the sponsors themselves fear.
it was a risky move, but in the pursuit of knowledge, all tasks are menial. It's just a means to the goal.
Unfortunately, I am forbidden to punish gambling. However, endangerment of my carnival, that I can punish. We shall see how you fare when it comes. And he casts his eyes over to Faelith. My dear, you tried so hard, but fell for such a simple trick. If it wasn't for the sponsor's mercy, you would have died. You would have vanished off of the face of the planet, and not a single soul would have cried for you.
I look over to Whisper, and then I just look back.
Oh, no, my dear. You confuse love and obsession. He would have cried for his addiction, not for your soul. You risking your life for the sake of a doll. Your sponsor is not happy.
We were
Take
told
a
we
look.
done.
Take a look at your hands. As you look down towards your hands and your fingers, you realize they have turned to porcelain. You better do better in the next games. Because for your restoration will take an almighty reward. Are we still as cocky when we can't use our hands?
There are many other things that can be used.
Oh, I know, my dear. And you better think fast. Because I will see to it myself. Should you fail the carnival again, you will lose the use of your legs. Now then, how are we all feeling after the first games?
Take a shower.
I'm glad you feel such. Because it only gets worse. You may meander around the carnival for now. Until tomorrow's games, that is.
Bremble's gonna interject and say, "What about my prize?"
Go over to the prize hall. They will see you are rewarded.
Do you have directions?
The prize hall is towards the back of the carnival. Just be careful where you tread.
Bremble's gonna turn to Bomber and go. And
Yes,
just nod at him.
I nod back and say, lead the way.
I'm going to give a polite nod to the ringmaster and leave.
I'll follow.
As will I.
Bremble's gonna head up and head out towards the back of the carnival.
As
I'm going to say,
sorry, go on.
I'm going to say, just be on your toes because I don't trust anything here anymore.
Oh no, that's not fair, is it?
Well, I mean, you have been playing games with us, so it's only just that we're a little bit wary.
So,
Bremble's gonna.
as you go to the reward hall, the prize hall, you notice there are some fantastical and very powerful magical items on display behind the counter. As a tiefling appears, a blue tiefling of Asmodeus, to be exact. Hello, one and all. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I hear there is a couple of victors today. Very well done. Now, whilst I would love to offer amongst you a Holy Avenger, a Black Razor, perhaps a Boots of Elven kind, unfortunately they are reserved for the most successful amongst you. And as I understand it, you were barely successful this time. I weep for you all, for what is to come. Nevertheless, you have indeed won. So congratulations. You may choose any common and magical item that you so wish.
Do we have a list?
It's literally any common magical item. This tiefling is very, very well stocked up.
Oh, damn.
Having a look.
They would indeed be useful, Des. Unfortunately, he's not willing to part with them just yet.
I ask, can you suggest to me any type of uncommon magical weapon?
Common magical item.
Common, sorry. Magical
Um,
item.
I think the. Let me just double check. I think +1 weapons are common magical. Off the top of my head. Let's just have a quick look. See, I'm pretty sure +1 weapons are common. I know they're uncommon. Common magical items are generally just there for flair for the most part. Minor potions of healing are classed as common magical items. Let's get some 5e common magical items. Actually, yeah. So you've got Abracadabras. Oh no, that's very rare. Hold on. Filter magic items. There we go. Yeah. So you got Armor of Gleaming, Band of Loyalty, Bead of Nourishment, Bead of Refreshment, Boots of False Tracks, Bottle of Boundless Coffee, Candle of the Deep, Cartographer's Map Case, Cast Off Armor, Charlatan's Die, Chest of Preserving, Cleansing Stone, Cloak of Billowing, Cloak of Many Fashions. There's a lot. The items are specifically for the victors. There'd be no sharing here. If you guys want to decide between sessions, that's also okay. There's no pressure to decide right now.
Maybe because I have no idea what I'm looking for, so I'll have to do some research.
That's fine.
Yeah, I think I've got a couple in mind. One of them being Clockwork Amulet.
Okay.
But there is 2 others that I just
So-
want to do some research on.
He offers you guys your prizes. And as you step outside into the carnival, you see something you've not seen since you've been here. The lights go out. You all hear a voice. Beyond the depths of the darkest mines, out of reach of the longest arms, beneath the feet of the most frivolous adventurers, the Dark One rises. As the lights flicker back on, you hear the ringmaster, whose tone and his attitude seems to have changed somewhat. It's okay, everyone. Calm down, calm down. We all heard it. Yes, it's scary, but it's nothing that we cannot handle ourselves. I promise you. Now, if you would all kindly go back to your activities and go back to your days, that would make everything so much easier.
Who was that? I'm going to say to the ringleader inquisitively, if you don't mind my asking, that is.
I have no idea. Can you make me an insight check?
Certainly, I was just about to ask if I could do that. Insight. Come on. Son of a bitch!
A 4. The ringmaster is definitely putting on a front. Anyone can see that, but you're not quite sure why.
I'm going to give him a nod and then turn to leave and, I guess, explore the carnival.
Can I roll an inside check just to see if I know anything?
Of course you
can. 1 second. Saying that, mate, are you there?
Yes, sorry, what do I need to roll?
Insight.
Insight check, please, buddy.
Yeah, by the way, I'm going to take the clockwork amulet.
Okay. I'll put that on your sheet now before I forget. I will sort out your inventory as well, properly.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think I had a crowbar.
On a 13 insight, Liamson, the ringmaster is shitting his pants because he doesn't have a clue.
I stare at him, look him up and down, realizing he fears something he does not know, and warily look around myself.
As the tense atmosphere around the carnival rises, you can see at the edges of the carnival there's a lot of angry adults trying to be calmed down by the various lower level grunts of the carnival, let's say, as they are shouting and screaming. They're calling you like the carnival. They're calling you all kidnappers, robbers, thieves, liars, cheats. And amongst it all, you see a lowly elven man with nothing but tears in his eyes. It would appear the man's daughter has wandered somewhere into the carnival and not come out. And that, my friends, is where we will end for today.
Ooh.
So I hope everyone watching at home has enjoyed tonight's fantastic session. I hope my players have enjoyed the carnage that is evil upon evil. And until next time, friends,